Hello, I'm ABX Toycat, and welcome back to the episode of my TU39 Let's Play. This is a Let's Play I started after the most recent major update came out for Minecraft on the console, and which so far I've had quite a bit of fun with. I built myself a couple of houses, as you can see over there. I built myself a city, which is growing by the episode, and I've also built the battle minigame lobby, or at least it's a work in progress thing. I've been having a lot of fun with all of the builds in this world, but this world is actually coming to an end soon. If you don't know, it's going to be kind of absorbed back into the Update Adventures Let's Play, so I'll still be coming here from time to time, but it will just be a part of the bigger world. So yeah, that's going to be really fun. That's happening on September the 12th, if you want to mark it down in your calendar or diary. Do people still have diaries? But yeah, that's a thing. But today, so I can kind of prepare for that, make sure I don't get, suddenly surprised, I'm going to be working on finishing a lot of stuff that really probably should have been finished by now, to make sure there isn't just a big unfinished mess over here. So examples of this would be like, oh yeah, the pathway. If you look around here, you can see how the pathway, it's just unfinished in a lot of places. I'm going to try to make sure put my all into making sure the pathway is entirely done. I'm going to plan out what every plot should be. So this plot, for instance, I think will just be like cacti and dead shrubs to show that it's still a desert. But then this plot over here, I want you, the comments, to decide. So right now, you watching this video, leave a comment for what you think should go over here. Next to the brewing stand, the chest, and whatnot. I'm thinking a giant pixel art of some block. But if you have like a better idea, let me know what you think should go there, because I am honestly a little bit torn on it. So yeah, let me know what you think should go there, because I'm a little bit curious, and I'll just pick, based on random comments. So yeah, with that said, hopefully you do all enjoy this episode of the Let's Play. Let's get straight into it. So let me just start by saying that, I guess I should clarify this, because, a lot of people kind of get suspicious that, like, oh yeah, every now and then, like, Toycat will ask for, like, comments on every other video. And I can kind of understand why people get suspicious of YouTubers, because there are YouTubers out there that are purely in this, for XYZ reason, whether that is, money, whether that is this or that, and it kind of, erodes the trust in the entire system, and you're like, isn't it funny how certain YouTubers always ask for likes, and they all ask for subscribes and stuff, and I figured, why not just start with a very brief breakdown that actually, comments, that, there's something I ask for a lot, actually, as I understand it, does not help a video's, ranking out or whatever. Like, there's no real benefit to that. Besides, I just want to hear what your thoughts are, because, every now and then, like, I feel like I'm like, my opinion on that would have been kind of different, and I like to kind of hear what the subscriber's opinion is. I don't get any direct benefit from that, and hopefully that's enough to reassure you. Although I guess if you're suspicious and you don't want to trust me, that's kind of that. But I think being suspicious in general is kind of a good thing. I mean, obviously no one wants people to be suspicious in them, but like, if you think about it, like, suspicion comes from a good place, because, the reason people are suspicious, I think most people are, right, is because if you think back to, like, when we were, like, hunters or, like, people in the woods and stuff, you've got to imagine, like, okay, there's a bush over there. It's making weird creaking noises. Do you go and inspect it? Or do you go and, or do you run away because it might be a bear? And even though, 99% of the time it's not going to be a bear, the 1% of the time it is, that person dies. And I think it is like I'm making this up right now. I'm pretty sure this is true, though. But, like, that's the reason why a lot of traits like that did come up. Because, again, if you... Also, let's turn this into sandstone, and then turn that into sandstone slabs, and that way we'll have, like, a billion of them. So, yeah, that's what I was thinking, like... So, if you ever are like, I am a little bit overly paranoid, although that is definitely a bad thing, because, it's not useful in today's world, at least you can think to yourself, well, if I was born 50,000 years ago, I would not have been killed by a bear in the woods. So yeah, maybe that's something positive to reassure you about yourself, or maybe it's not. I don't even know at this point. But yeah, with that said and out of the way, one thing I wanted to kind of just start by talking about here is kind of a birthday thing. Oh, wait, I should clarify. The ways that it actually does help a YouTuber, just in case other people don't want to say this, but I'm fine with saying it. Liking a video has a tiny effect on, people's perception of the video, in terms of like, this is a lot of likes, maybe it's a good thing. So, and also a tiny effect on the search, so it's kind of a good thing. That's why I say, like video if you do like it. It helps out the channel a lot. Let me know you do like it, because, again, it is really appreciated. It does help. Share the video, of course, is one of the best ways for a YouTube channel to grow. Like, right now, I mean, it used to be back for YouTube search, but if you say like, oh yeah, my friend plays Minecraft, I should introduce him to a Toycat video, that is a really good way to help out, as well as like, buying a t-shirt or like a direct contribution. Everything else, besides that is just like, oh yeah, just doing this because I want to know. So, just in case you are, like, a little bit skeptical about the whole comment thing, I figured I'd just clarify all the ways that actually do help, so you can be like, okay, they're the ones that people are doing, that ask me to do, because obviously it benefits them, and they're the ones that they're asking me to do. I mean, obviously, I'd like you to have a t-shirt anyway, because I love it whenever I see a Toycat t-shirt, like, there's maybe, like, 10 of them out in the wild, like, there's not as many as you might think. Whenever I see someone who's, like, wearing them, like, Catalina, for instance, moderator, see you wear a Toolkit t-shirt. It's like, yeah, that's cool. So, yeah, if you that's the reasoning behind everything I say. There is obviously extra stuff on top of it, but just in case you want to be suspicious and paranoid, there's your reasoning. So, but wait, let's move on from that and talk about birthdays a little bit, because it's only really just sunk into my head that... Ow. It's only really just sunk into my head that I am actually 21 now. I had a birthday in July. It was actually just over a month ago now. And yeah, it takes a really long time for my head to adjust. Oh, you've gone up a year. And I think this will get way worse. I'm like, you know, let's pick an age like 50-something. I'm like, I thought I was 46, but it turns out I'm actually 53. Like that, because I'm just really, really bad at dates in general. Like, something about the fact that every day you've got to keep up with it, that's just really tricky to me. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because, you know, I work 4 days a week, but I work a different 4 days every week, so... You know, like, you can see how that could get confusing fast, maybe, and, like, you know, in my head right now, it's like a Wednesday, but it's definitely not a Wednesday. Stuff like that, I guess, is what can confuse me. But the point being is that I'm extra bad with dates, but I'm also bad with my age, and it makes me think, you know, because I don't really know mine, it's like, why does age really even matter? Because all it is like, okay, the Earth has gone round the sun. Wait, is that the right? Yeah, the Earth has gone around the sun 21 times since that moment at which I was born, but yet we use it in real life as kind of like an achievement system, or like kind of like in the way that video games, so League of Legends is a big example, for instance. Video games like that will have like a minimum number of games required so you can play ranked. That's kind of what real life does when you're like, okay, you must be 17 to drive. That's the UK driving age. I don't know what the American one is. I think it's 16, but not going to comment on that because I don't know. But yeah, you know, like... You know, to be able to drive, you must have had at least 17 years of experience, which in reality, I think it's 17. It just means that, again, the Earth has gone around the sun 17 times. It has no impact on your actual, you know, ability to do anything. I mean, you still have to learn to drive, of course, but, you know, loads of stuff like that, which is based on age. It does seem a bit weird, and what I was thinking, this is like my amazing... I guess, like, genius idea, is there really should be real-life achievements. So, I think if, you know, the reason I'm showing this idea is because I don't think it actually would work today, but I think the coolest idea that I would love is if there was, like, an app that could track your real-life achievement progress, because, one, you've got to think, you can actually use that. Okay, so again, in my example, the fact that you can drive at 17, or you can drink at... It's 21 in America for some reason. Oh, I can legally drink in America now, isn't that great? But, you know, doing all these things at certain ages... I think I might have done this slightly wrong. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to have to dig through this and just hope we end up at the right place. But yeah, the logic behind it is like, okay, if you've been alive for that long, you must have gained some maturity, and therefore you're at the level where you can make that decision yourself. Because, again, you've done this much, so it kind of proves it. With an achievement tracking system that actually worked for real life, you wouldn't have to have the whole, like, oh yeah, you've probably done that. You could be like, okay, if you want to be able to legally, you know, own a car, then what you have to do is you have to get the achievement for, you know, traveling to 16 different places. You have to get the achievement for, like, empathy, and you can get the point, right? That's a cool little system. But I think, you know, kind of taking the idea a little bit back, birthdays really are just like, you know, an all-time stat in a game. So, like, it's like a level up. Like, honestly, this sounds like just a weird gamer thing to say, but I think birthdays really are the real-life equivalent of level ups, because you've got to think about it like, oh yeah, so it's some every single time you go up one, you gain a new skill. You know, I gained the ability to adopt children in the UK at my last birthday. And it's just being tracked at all times. Like, I'm now 21 and almost 1/10. I'm like 21.1 now. And yeah, I figured it'd be cool if there was like something that could track all of your all-time stats and then use those instead. So again, whether you want to use achievements, because I think they're the coolest way or not, but even if you just think about something like, okay, so instead of achievements, we'll use like, I don't know, your all-time footsteps walked. So, because I think that could be a better, you know, indicator of how mature you are, or all times humans spoken to. If you've spoken to one human in your life, versus at age 21 versus someone who's like 18 but he's spoken to 12,000 humans and they all actually like him, that could be a good stat. And I think it'd be cool to like imagine how much good you could do to people if you know, you gave achievements to them that they could actually benefit from for like exercising. It's like, oh, guess what, you walked for 16,000 footsteps you know, across your life, or it'd be a lot more because you can walk that in a day. You walked for your millionth footstep, guess what, you now get you could even use like real life coupons. Like, okay, guess what? You get 10% off at Burger King. That'd be awful because then you're going to go buy a burger. But you get the point. I think real life achievements with real life awards is the coolest thing. And I swear, like, if at some point I'm like, just like, oh yeah, I need to go work on something else, that is the coolest idea that hasn't been done yet. So if anyone wants to make that, because, I don't want to go through the effort of making it just to make it, just to be able to play it, then there's your amazing idea. But yeah, I really do think birthdays are like achievements because they're entirely arbitrary, but yeah, they still kind of mean something, don't they? And yeah, I think the more real life becomes like a video game, the happier I'll be personally. And maybe that is a strange thing to say, but maybe I'm the only one thinking it, but I'm definitely the only one saying it. So yeah, I just figured I'd throw that one out here before we say anything else, because again, it's been on my mind a lot this week, like just random ideas, because my mind is always whirling. Like, I picture it like a microwave. It's an example I heard from, like, I think it was Magman Middle way back. But, like, oh yeah, my brain's like a microwave, and there's always random bits of corn popping. Yeah, there's random bits of corn popping, and that's kind of just how my brain's like, ooh, would it be great if there was achievements in real life? Would it be great if there was, like, a way to actually, check all the travel sites in the UK and stuff like that? And a lot of this stuff is like, yeah, it would be cool if that existed. And I don't know, I figured I'd mention that's how my brain works, just so you can be like, well, at least Toy Cat didn't just, spend 3 days thinking of this little achievement idea. I just had it when I was in London, and I was like, would it be cool if there was like an achievement for going to like every tube station? Because at this point, I think I must have done it, and it just makes you feel a bit more accomplished about doing semi-mundane tasks. But yeah, just random little thought I had throughout my day, which actually moves me into the kind of second point I wanted to raise here, because I went to Gamescom last Wednesday. Yeah, it's actually the past now. I'll be honest, I'm recording this on Tuesday? I don't know the day right now. I could check actually. The 15th, so I think this is a full... Yeah, this is just before my previous Let's Play goes up, where I died to the Wither. Pretty embarrassing. I record these in advance, by the way, because I get like really into the mood to record a Let's Play sometimes. And I'm like, oh, we need to go do that. And it's like, oh, it's not for another week. So just in case you are curious, maybe that ruins the immersion for you. If it does, you can pretend that this is the current Monday. So yeah, it's Monday as I do this, and I'm about to go to Germany. And one of the things that people say a lot about, I guess, Europe in general, because, there's been a lot of turbulence here in terms of politically, is like, oh, it must be so dangerous there. Like, I've seen people say, like, oh yeah, I'm American, but I don't want to go to Europe until, like, things kind of blow over and, die down there. And it's just one of those ridiculous things that's, like, this shows how humans are, like, so bad at, like, kind of predicting... Oh, there's a red glow on my screen, but it's from the sun. I thought it was, like, a cool little secret I found in the cave. But, yeah, basically, people are so bad at, like, actually predicting, using statistics to kind of predict how things will happen. And I get why that is. There's a big emotional response to stuff like this. But for instance, people really hate flying, but it's statistically safer to fly than it is to be in a car by like thousands of times. Like you're more likely to have a heart attack than you are to die in a plane crash in your life. Oh, even on the taxi to the airport, I think it is. Like you're more likely to have a car crash. A heart attack in the car while driving to an airport than you are dying on the plane, which, pretty chilling statistic. Doesn't really help people be like, well, I haven't had the heart attack, therefore I'm going to die on the plane. But I think it's the sort of thing I should throw out there right now, as like, if you are scared of flying, maybe the statistics help you. But for most people they don't, because again, humans use like an internal system of like reasoning that doesn't actually, it's not actually based on how often things happen. It's based on how often you think things will happen. It's like people who enter the lottery. Some people are doing it because it's just a fun little game once a week. But some people have like the thing in their head where it's like, well, I invest $1 now and maybe I get 13 million or how many million you get, even though the odds are kind of crazily out there. And that's one of those things I can kind of understand, because it's cheap and you can maybe argue that it will happen at some point if you throw away the money. But the point I'm actually trying to raise with all of this is the fact that humans are really bad at statistics. But and one of the things about statistics to me that's kind of shocking that I guess is most people won't think of, but that actually is really useful, is it's called something like the porta potty paradox or something like that. It's got a ridiculous name, but the basic idea behind it is that if you assume that every event in your life has a value, let's say that everything that happens to you at some point, let's go really really simply, like every piece of food you eat in a restaurant you can rate from 1 to 10, right? I think everyone could do that if you tried. I mean, I could rate the what I ate most recently in a restaurant. I think I had some form of pizza in a restaurant. I don't know why. I could rate that like a solid 9. I can't actually remember much about it. when was the last time let's just assume that was the case. But there was lots of things in the menu I didn't try that perhaps are more preferred than the thing I got. I just got the thing that I thought would be best. But a lot of people are really averse to trying new things, and again, I like the idea of a new thing on the menu because it's just such a simple example, but people really hate trying new things, in general. And it's one of those things that's always, perplexed me, because statistically speaking, again, if you rate every event on a 1 to 10 scale, then you have to get like 37% through your life before you found something that's even worth settling on. So if you tried, okay, let's put this example. You try one piece of food, you have to eat, one food every day. I know you eat like 3 meals, but you eat one food every day because that's your life, right? And you eat, one food a day every day of your life for the rest of your life. That sounds about, normal, right? Right? Maybe? Sort of? I don't know what I'm saying here. But yeah, point being, let's just assume that's normal for now. 1 food a day for the 80 years you're alive. When you get to 37% through your life, which is about 30-something years at that point, so like 31, let's say, then you will have found a food that's statistically better for you to just eat that food over and over again than it is to try new ones. But you have to go for 31 years or 37% of the total amount you could do before you get there. Whereas a lot of people are like, well, I tried this curry when I was 13, and it was just the best one, and I've never gone back. And that's the sort of mindset to me that I could never really get past. Like, I've always favoured like variety in my life on a crazy amount, which is why, by the way, have you noticed how my channel kind of changes content so much? Like, I really do appreciate everyone that's like stuck with me for the fact that like, oh yeah, for the past 4 years, the thing that's remained constant is there is a Let's Play, but the Let's Play's kind of entirely changed in content. And I've always been appreciative of the fact that people do enjoy just learning stuff, even if it kind of changes what they're learning about. So, by the way, thank you for all that sort of stuff. Thank you to everyone who has been around for the past long time. I know it's not the vast majority of people, but it's still like, that's great. But my actual point being here is like variety is something I think is a really good thing, because no matter what you do, I feel like people who have what most people consider to be the dream jobs, like, I don't know, like a food tester or like or a YouTuber. Like, I feel like this is one of those jobs that lots of people do look at and say, yeah, that's the dream, right? You're just playing one of your favorite games every single day and talking to people about it or whatever. But yeah, even though people can look at it that way, there are YouTubers out there, not myself, because the way I do my stuff, that are just bummed out and that hate making video game things. They'd be like, I would rather work at like a toll booth or like doing some ridiculous manual labor job. That is the opinion of a lot of people, and there's a part of me that gets it, because if you do anything for long enough, you kind of focus on the negative. All the positive becomes just part of the job, and all the negative kind of builds up over time. Also, look how much sandstone there is here. Yeah, so much sandstone for me. Yeah, and that's the sort of thing that can happen with any job, anything really. Like, think about if you. I think one of the few things is like maybe living in the same place. You wouldn't get bored of forever because you learn to like it because of how emotional attachment works. But because you don't get emotionally attached to a job, I don't think most people do anyway. Then you kind of just go to hate it more and more. And that's the sort of thing where it's like, yeah, this is where variety is good. And that's why variety in like anything, I'm always like, let's do it. I've only been to the same place like out of like, so I've been to maybe like on, let's say like 30 flights. I've only been to the same place twice to Denmark, twice to Cologne, but both with like a different. So I went by myself one of the times, and with someone else one of the other times. I've never like been one of the people that's like, let's go to the same place for a holiday over and over again. Like, variety is something I value, and it statistically is actually something that is worthwhile. So just in case you're sitting there like, what was the point you were trying to raise there, Toy Cat? Variety is the spice of life. I still think I don't know what the phrase was. It was like, variety is the salt of life, because if you add it to anything, it makes it a tiny bit more fun. And although there are really bad experiences, I have tried some awful food. Okay, if you watch my Mokka stream, I tried a pickle. It was like a kosher. It'd been left to marinate for some ungodly amount of time. It was one of the worst things I've ever eaten. I've never hated anything as much as I hated that pickle. But in spite of that, I still think the experience was kind of cool in hindsight, I guess. And yeah, that's the kind of point I want to raise here. Statistically, not only just in principle, but in practice, it's actually better for variety. It's better for you and stuff. And if you just try something new 37% of the time, then you'll actually find the new best thing. Like, your favorite thing out there in the world, your favorite thing to do for anything, your favorite sport, your favorite job, your favorite place, your favorite everything, you have statistically probably not found it yet. So maybe this inspires you to go out and get it. Or maybe you're just like, that's kind of cool toy cat, and you move on with your day. Whichever reaction you do have, hopefully you have it well. But also, our little pathways come together pretty well right here. So, yeah, to move on from that just a little bit. So, we probably have to, like, place slabs underneath here to stop this being too awful. Okay, well, it's doing it by itself. So the final thing I kind of wanted to raise here is like kind of a combination of the birthday thing and the statistics thing. Because one of my favorite statistic points, like, if you don't know, I am really big on the math thing. Like, my brain just does maths by itself a lot of the time, because, I don't know, that's why I've done videos on, like, oh yeah, here's how you, also, I think this pathway's 5 wide for some reason. No good reason, just, okay, it's a wide pathway. But yeah, basically, you know, that's why I have all the maths videos, because it's what my brain does. But yeah, basically, one of my favorite paradoxes in terms of statistics that kind of just shows that, yeah, humans can't really gauge how things work, because the brain isn't skewed towards when something happens, it's skewed when it doesn't happen. Well, when it happens, not when it doesn't happen, sorry. But if you think about the birthday paradox, so if you haven't heard of this one, it's one of my favorite ones, because it's just really bizarre to say. But basically, if you take 10 people, and you put them in a room, you ask what their birthday is, statistically speaking, you know, no one's going to have a match. Most people think the number of people you need in a room before you have a matching birthday is like 176 or something. Like, that's how many you need before you've got a decent chance. But if you have, I think it's a ridiculously low number. It's something like 35 people in a room. Statistically, there's just over a 50% chance that 2 people share the same birthday in a group that small. And again, this is one of those little facts to me that's like, that is... you know, you would assume it's way higher, but again, because the way intuitive, like, brains work, it's, you know, because humans aren't rational beings. It's something that's always bugged me. It's like, should we aspire to be rational beings? I can't tell you that for sure, but all I can say is that humans aren't rational, and there's a lot of proof out there of that fact. So, yeah, I think I actually finished all the pathways now. I'm going to quickly just do a triple check around here, and now we just have to kind of decide what's going to go in each of the plots. So, yeah. Humans, not very rational. Maybe we should try to be. Even if you don't want to try to be, at least try to put some more variety in your life, because there's a very decent chance that your favourite things aren't out there. And if that's not inspiring, then maybe you should just, I don't know, pet your nearest cat, and the cat can give you guidance. I guess there's a reason people like the sound of the supernatural, because life is actually relatively boring compared to the dream version that you'll see in... you know, like a TV show or something. Like, everyone wants every part of life to be amazing, but the reality is most life is just grinding away, or yeah, until the next thing, which I don't know, it doesn't sound quite so exciting as, oh, ghosts are real and cats are real. Cats are real, by the way. They're not a conspiracy, probably. I mean, I have no evidence to believe they're a conspiracy, but maybe that's what the cats want you to think. And here's where Illuminati music would play if I knew what the actual stuff was. Anyway, with that said, let's kind of plot out what's going to go everywhere so that you can decide what you think should go next to it, and also so I can kind of make sure it makes sense. So first of all, here is going to be my big... So like how I have a big play park there, this is going to be my deserty place, so it's just going to be all the dead bushes. It's going to be a bunch of cacti, and then everywhere else, so like over here, for instance, I'm going to remove it from. In fact, I've got shears on me right now, right? There, the shears. My inventory's so cluttered. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shear up all the dead bushes from elsewhere. I'm going to get rid of all the tall grass and all the cacti from everywhere, and they're all going to go in this kind of square to make this really deserty, to make that really plainsy. That sort of stuff I think just kind of makes sense here. So let's do some of that right now, actually. So, I'm going low on hunger because all my food is gone, and except I've got some mutton. I'll eat all the mutton, and then we'll be just fine. So, yeah, basically, this plot right here will be my desert plot. It's going to be covered in desert stuff because. Who doesn't love deserts, right? This is going to be where my beacon goes. So, still going to kill the weather for that, and that's kind of on hold for a little bit. That is going to be the comment selected thing. Next week we'll be building whatever the comments do suggest. And then back there, because we need something to round out that corner, I'm not entirely sure either. I think we'll just build a generic building, you know? I think it'll be like a semi-generic building. I'll give it a cool purpose, like... That'll be the water treatment plant, or, you know, something that can actually work with the world. Maybe like a cocoa bean. Oh, wait, I should make food here. Yeah, let's make a food plant, like, it'll be an evil food factory, or... There's a few ideas I have here, actually. I think just generic factory building, you know, evil place that kind of near the cat quarters. I think that's probably the best idea. And then I think besides that, yeah, that could be a complete city right here. So 3 more builds or 3 more areas to go, plus a big beacon in the center, and then we might just have a complete Toytopia or Toycat Town or whatever it is. Oh, also the battle minigame lobby has been finished, and I'll link that into the rest of the world. But still, pretty good times. Hopefully you did all enjoy this episode of the Let's Play. If you did like it, as always, you can like the video. That does help out the channel a lot, which is why I ask you to do it. If you think that just because I ask you isn't a good enough reason, that's more than fine too. Sharing the video is the best way to, get new people to check out the channel, which prolongs how long I can do this whole YouTube thing. Because it is one of those, it's a dream job that will last as long as YouTube support lasts. Subscribe if you're new around here. I make videos like this every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, it benefits me because it means you'll see my videos more often, daily on your homepage. But if you want to see them daily, then it's a mutually beneficial thing. And besides that, I hope you did all enjoy the video, because I will see you all in the next one. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.